Well, hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 438. How are you doing, my friends? How are you doing? You know what? Let's just get into it. I'm annoyed, and I know you're annoyed at the same stuff that I'm annoyed with. You gotta be. You have no choice, right? Everybody's noticing. I know you're noticing it, that the products are a little bit smaller. Right? There's a little bit less in the bag, and you feel like an old guy, even though technically I'm getting older, but you feel like an old guy when you complain about certain things. You know those little bags of potato chips you buy at the corner store? When I was a little kid, you'd get those bags and the bag was puffed out because there was so much potato chips in there. Oh man, you picked the bag, the bag was fat. Right? The bag was puffed out the way a middle-aged guy's t-shirt is puffed out in the belly area. I just looked down and realized I was talking about myself. Thank God I bought this Total Gym and I'm working out, damn it. Anyway, right? And even back in the 80s and 90s, there was a guy on 60 Minutes named Andy Rooney. He would be the commentary guy on 60 Minutes. I know a third of you are too young to even know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't really matter. And he would always say, you ever notice how this happens and that happens? And he was talking about how a long time ago, the companies knew that they could very slightly shrink each container of coffee. And the potato chips, they could shrink it a little bit. And the cereal, they could shrink it just a little bit. You wouldn't even notice how much, just a little bit. And it's a little bit to you, but over the course of millions and millions and millions and millions of cans and boxes, that's millions and millions of dollars to them that they don't have to spend while getting the same amount of money from you, those slick bastards. Well, now that we have supply chain problems, now all of a sudden it's gotten even worse, right? You go to buy a gallon of ice cream and all of a sudden, we use the empirical system in the United States. So to those of you overseas, I know you're laughing like, you damn Yanks. Why don't you use the metric system? Well, we're not. So shut up, punks. Don't judge me. Right? And something's up when the container that is made for the United States of America has the metric system in larger type than the empirical system. They're trying to be slick because they know most Americans are just going to look at the shape of the package, think it's actually a gallon, and they'll take it and it's actually and it's in metric system, right? And then they'll take it home. We've got a gallon of ice cream. And they're used to mom getting 2 scoops of ice cream and dad getting 2 scoops of ice cream and this kid getting 2 scoops and this kid getting 2 scoops and this kid getting 2 scoops because that's what a gallon does. But it ain't a gallon. It's about a scoop less than a gallon. And you don't know that up front. So you scoop out the thing. Let me scoop some out for you, Mom. Let me grab mine real quick. Come on, kids. Let me scoop some ice cream out for you. 1, 2. Okay, come here. 1, 2. You next. 1. Damn. Everybody quickly lick your ice cream so we can't ask for any. Oh, that's mean. But I am licking my ice cream. Sorry, kid, you can't have any. Well, you were bad anyway, and you got a B- instead of an A, so you don't deserve 2 scoops of ice cream. I don't want to hear you crying. Bring your grades up. That's a little too mean, but you know what I'm saying. But they do that crap all the time trying to be slick, and it gets on my damn nerves. Now, why am I thinking about this? Why am I talking about this? Because I go to a store that shall not be named in this podcast because I like the store, but they're trying to be a little bit of slick. Now, on the East Coast, I don't know if it's everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's in California, and maybe it's overseas too, but it's new to my area on the East Coast of the United States. Well, newish, I should say, where you bring your own bags or you buy bags from the store. The bags that cost about $2 and it's a big shopping bag, right? And after a while, you know how much stuff you buy on a weekly basis. You know how many products you buy. So you have an idea of how many bags you need. Now, in the course of a week, I need 4 of those big bags to feed everybody. 4 big bags. So I buy the bags. No problem. Well, and I usually have them in the trunk of the car. So one day I took the bags out of there because I was going to use them for laundry because somebody broke my damn laundry baskets. I'm not going to mention the person's name, but you're listening and I'm going to hit you in the throat. Assaulting relatives. So anyway, right? So I forgot to put the bags back in the trunk. No big deal. Okay, it's going to cost me, $8. Whatever, man. Whatever. So I go back to the store. I buy what I'm normally going to buy. And I go and I want to buy some bags. And I look at the bags and they're not the same size. They cost a little bit less and they're a little bit smaller. So I can't just buy 4 bags. I now have to buy 6 bags. Now, each one of them is a little less than $2, and each one of them is a little smaller, but I do need 2 extra bags. I've got to buy 6 bags. Not 4 bags, 6 bags. You mean to tell me it's not enough that you bastards are going to shrink the products? You're going to shrink the damn bags so I have to buy more bags and spend more money? You slick bastards. I remember one time I went to a comedy club in New York. And I went this is like 1.5 million years ago, because let's be honest, I don't pay to go into comedy clubs anymore, obviously. But back then, no problem. So I go to the comedy club, and I'm sitting there with my friend. We're watching some comics, right? We're in New York City. It's great sitting there watching it. And they had the 2-item minimum. I forgot what it was, but whatever it was, the amount, you couldn't reach the amount by buying one thing. Like, say it was a $20 minimum, right? Everything was like $17. Right? They weren't like two $10 things, or, it was like, look, dude, and also, the drinks are also $9,000. Basically, bro, it's a $20 minimum, but you will be giving us $35. We could have just made it a $35 minimum, but we wanted to fool you guys into thinking that it was a $20 minimum, thinking it was not a big deal. Meanwhile, when it's all said and done with the tip, you're going to be spending about $50. You expected to spend 20, but you will be spending 50. You're going to spend 50. Yeah, because if you don't spend 50, you see them 2 dudes in the back there, right there, that are punching the insides of their hands. Well, if I don't look back at them and smile and give them the thumbs up, you see what they're doing to the inside of the hands? That's what's going to be, you'll be doing that to your face. You're going to take you into the back alley and rough you up. So, you got a problem with that? And I'm like, no, I got plenty of money on me at the time. I was like, yeah, I was back when I actually carried money on me like an idiot. Yeah, I had like, I forgot what it was, but I was so dumb. When I was a teenager, like I would have been like the perfect person to rob, back then. Right? Because it's like, because I could, as a young person, like a teenager, whatever, I would be walking around, and my boys were the same way. We literally, all of us were carrying like $300 to $500 on us in cash. I mean, how dumb is that? Hey, let's walk around with large numbers of cash, right? Because you got to go into your wallet to get the cash, and everybody sees you go into the wallet. When you pull a dollar bill out and like 15 other bills come flipping up and they're all 20s, and you can almost see the people over there, people are looking at you like, wow, I just came into this coffee shop to get some coffee, but I'm going to get some coffee and I'm going to serve out a dish of ass whipping and wallet taking. I digress. Back to the story. So the guy looks at me, looks at my boy, and we're like, hey man, it's no big deal. We're on our, I was either a teenager or early 20s. I was probably like 18, 19 years old at that point. And my boy was like, maybe 23. First of all, technically I shouldn't even be able to get into the place, to tell you what the situation was there. They're like, yeah, we know you're not old enough to drink, but you have cash on you. So bring your punk ass in and give us that money. Right. So he looks at us and he goes, so it's going to come to be about, he had a look on his face as if he was waiting for some kind of resistance. Yeah, you 2 young people who probably don't have the money, who we're going to have to beat up in the back. Whose ass we gonna have to whoop because people have been paying later. They've been wanting to whoop somebody's ass for a while. They haven't whooped the ass in like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? In fact, they beat my ass like 3 times because they just wanted to practice for the ass whooping that they're going to be giving you. So do you have any problem with the price with your 2 punk asses, huh? Punks? I look back up at him. Yeah, it's fine. He goes, it is? And my boy goes, yeah, it's cool. It's no big deal. We came to New York. We wanted to hang out. No big deal. We're going to tip you good too. He goes, and I'm getting tipped good? Really? Yeah, man. I'm a comic. He's a comic. Technically we both work in the service industry. We got a lot of friends that are waitresses, waiters, hostesses and people of that nature, bar backs and all that kind of stuff. A lot of our friends are working in the service industry, so we always tip good. You do? Yeah. Oh. His face brightens up. He looks back at the dudes and they're like, and they kind of look all dejected, like, oh man, we were looking forward to whooping somebody's ass. And these two dudes are like regular sized dudes. It wasn't even like he'd be any challenge. The black guy's like 5'8", and the two white guys with him. One's about 6'2", but he's like 115 pounds. And the other guy, he's like 5'11". We were both 6'5", 300 pounds. We weren't even going to really beat him up that bad because it's like, we would have smacked him up a little bit, compared to us, they're little dudes, but I'm not going to like really hurt a little dude. I wasn't even going to, with the little black guy right there, I wasn't even going to use my fist. I was going to, I might have just like jostled him a little bit, picked him up, shook him up, maybe pushed him to the ground. I might, if he resisted, maybe I'd slap him a couple times, but I wasn't going to hurt him. The big guy, the big tall guy, he looks like the dude that was boning my wife. I wouldn't break any bones because it's not his fault just because he looks like the guy, but I might have whooped his, I might have had to, lump him up a little bit, and the 5'11" guy, once again, I'm 6'5", 320. And none of those guys, except for the guy that looked like the dude that boned my wife, I might have punched him. But the other two, I would have just slapped them up a little bit. In fact, I'm actually glad they paid. I want to hurt those little dudes. Yeah. Wait. What about that guy over there? He looks like he's about to do a dine and dash. He's dying and he's dashing. Oh yeah. Let's beat the... I digress. But they made it a point to make sure that they have the prices lined up in just such a way to get the most money out of you. At that store, they had the price of the bags lined up in just such a way so you had to pay more for the bags. And people do that crap all the time. And it's annoying. I wish they would stop doing it. Stop being slick, people that sell cars. If you go to buy a car, and I've bought a few cars in my time, do you know how painful it is to be at a dealership? I've actually had sales training, so I know all the tips. I know all the tricks. I know all the psychological games. I know, all the little manipulation tricks. And because I know them and I've been trained on those like 30 years ago, I can hear them and it just annoys me. It's like, oh, you ever just have like a kid and the kid's lying and you just want to let them finish getting this lie because while they're talking, all you hear is because they're lying. It's like, I literally was standing here and watched you throw the football in the house. This is what you're thinking. I watched you throw the football and knock the lamp on the floor. The lamp didn't even break. You thought it broke, but it didn't break. It made a sound. But it just has some pieces inside that swing around as part of the cord. So it'll go ding, 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 ding when it falls down, but it's not actually broken. It's just the mechanism of the lamp. It's not a big deal, but you thought you broke it and you're lying. And all the kid is doing is biggie, and then biggie. And you're sitting there going, every lie you tell is another 4 hours you are not going to be able to play with the video game. You don't know it yet. If you would have just said, you know what? I'm sorry, Uncle. You said not to throw the football in the house. I threw the football in the house. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I would have just given you I'd have been like, look, man. All right, just don't do it again. That's all you would have got because the lamp didn't break. But you had to lie, you little knucklehead. And I'm listening to this kid and I'm going, I got you all day, bro. It's 10 o'clock. And so far, that wasn't PlayStation back then. It was a million years ago. So far, whatever the video game was back in the day, whatever it is, you already at 12 o'clock right now not getting it. And now you're at 2 o'clock not getting it. Keep talking. You ain't going to get that game again until my sister gets back and takes you home. Right? Right? And I said, hey, well, you lied. I was looking at you when you threw the football. But I nothing. I'm turning that game off. And as it turns out, it was a really bad idea to turn the game off because when I turned the game off, his little punk ass decided he had to come spend time with me. And do I love the little bastard at the time? Well, he's a grown man now, but I love the little bastard at the time? Yes. But this huge pain in the ass. Now I wound up punishing myself. He's hanging around, playing, messing with me and annoying me. And then the girl I've been chasing for a long time called me up and she let me know that she wasn't playing hard to get. She literally was busy. And she wanted, speaking of busy, she wanted to get that with me. And I wanted to use some of my good love talk on the phone. Yeah, girl, I'm going to do this and I'm going to put some whipped cream on this and do that to this and put this in that and twist that and put this, that, and then lick that and squeeze that and put us all up in that and do this. I can't do that because there's a punk ass kid next to me. And he's looking up at me with his innocent guilt, his innocent eyes. And I'm on the phone. Yes, you are a lovely lady. And she goes, why? Wait, excuse me. Shouldn't you be talking all your love talk and telling about you're going to put some whipped cream on this and lick this and push this up into this and twist that and squeeze that? You better start talking about it like that. You ain't going to get none of this. So I said, hold on. And I put that video game right the hell back on. I said, the 8 minutes should have taught you a lesson. And then I threw his punk ass out, let him play with the PlayStation. And then I decided I was going to set up my game for later. Yeah. And I'm not going to say what happened. But it rhymes with me going over there later on that evening and getting it on with her 4 times and coming home. I was younger then. You ain't getting 4 in one day out of me now. Not within a 4-hour time period. No. You might get 4. You're only going to like 2 of them. You're going to love one of them, really like one of them, enjoy one of them. And at last, you'll be like, you tried. Just kidding. I'm just as potent as I was 30 years ago. F y'all. Folks, I've talked enough crazy crap as it is. Much love to you all. Thank you for coming back. You know I love every last one of you bastards, and I appreciate it. Do me a favor, my friends, and I would appreciate it very, very much if you would do this. If you are not subscribed to this podcast, please subscribe to this podcast. If you have not rated and reviewed this podcast, please leave a nice 5-star rave over the top. Why I love it. Can't live without the podcast review on whatever podcast that you're listening to this on. Recommend this to any of your friends and family who are just as weird as you are, because apparently you like this crap. I mean, this awesome show, man. F y'all, back to me. I would appreciate it if you did that. And if you see me tweets or post this crap on Facebook and you follow me on any of those places, Facebook or Instagram, repost this or reblog it or retweet it, whatever it is on whatever the social media. Do that for me. I would appreciate that very much. But what I appreciate the most is the kind words, is the love, and is you coming back every time to listen to the podcast. You cool bastards. Love y'all. Take care.